My job is to wake you up. My job is to get you excited. My job is to make sure that India is not just shining on a video or a piece of paper. India is shining all across the world. There is a perception that Indian telecoms and Indian service providers are stressed. Let me reiterate, they're not being necessarily stressed. It's how you look at it and what you do about it. There are about 2 to 3, handful of OTT players who have consuming 70 to 80% of the network traffic on our network. Would we want to be disrupted? Would we want to or disrupt? Do we want to invest or do we not want to invest? Do we want to innovate or be less innovative and be disrupted again? Welcome, thank you COAI for having me here. And last night I got a call and confirmed this morning that I have to be here so that I can indeed take you through the opportunities of service provider and the emerging technologies. Without service provider, I am not sure how we will ever deliver any digital transformation. Next slide, please. Now, since this is a technology presentation, it's important for us to talk about some of the tech trends. If you look at it, commercialization of 5G is on the horizon, and it's about 3.5 trillion, and everyone knows 5G will happen, but the 5G ecosystem has to still evolve. Artificial intelligence, it is absolutely going to impact and shape every single human being, every single business, every single part of India, including societal transformation. Being in the telecom business, I think this morning as I was contemplating after I got the call, TLT versus PLT, you gotta have some acronyms. That just means telecoms, technology, leading people, actually it should be TLP, versus people leading technology. Technology, people have to be consumed with knowledge of technology. In the new world, it will be conversational technology. It has to be people-friendly. When you talk to a technology, it would respond. Transparently immersive experiencing, extending reality, AR, VR, mixed reality, the blurring of physical and virtual is happening. Cybersecurity, anything and everything that we do could be exposed. But the beauty of being digital is there is a traceability and trackability. On a piece of paper, there is no traceability and trackability. I might have had your Aadhaar card in my pocket. I could have had your piece of papers about your proof of address in my pocket. You wouldn't know about it. But in the digital space, there is an opportunity to be traceable. Biotech, I'm a big believer in biotech. In fact, I love biotech. And the benefits of genome and the benefits of genome editing, especially CRISPR experimentation, whether it is HIV, whether it is growing bones, organs, etc. Emerging technology as a service. And I will run through this very quickly and hand it over to my dear friends Sunil Sood and team. But because AI as a service, AR as a service, VR as a service is an important factor of our new generation technology stacks that India has to build. It's imperative. Data is too important. We cannot have the power of data being held hostage by any company, any entity. We have to have physical presence of that data in India. It is imperative for the people of India. It is imperative for the national sovereignty in the new world. Next slide, please. Now, what is shaping the global economy? If you look at it, almost 60 cents of a dollar, right, is spent on advertising now goes to Google and Facebook. 2030, global economic impact on AI is to be $15.7 trillion. If you look at the disruption that has happened in the world, most of the CEOs and the founders are 18 to 20 years younger than the other generation. Young India, young world, aspiring young folks. If you look at the digital health market reaching $223 billion, global digital content to reach $317, these are $1 billion. These are just to give you a trend. Next slide, please. Since I came here this morning, it is important to give you a view. or what is the digital transformation in a quick building block. It is important that the network infrastructure is programmable, it is elastic, and it is secure. Along with that infrastructure, I think it is important in the new world that blockchain not obviously as a cryptocurrency, but blockchain as a ledger, blockchain for smart contracts, blockchain between carrier-to-carrier relationship, so that we do not have to worry about who did what, when, where. There is no need to go to TRI. There is no need to go to DOT. It is all there in the blockchain ledger because it's immutable. And on top of that, cloud-native platforms, it's imperative that we get out of the traditional infrastructure and do a cloud-native architecture, AI and big data, I talked about it. I talk about customer experience and service experience. And to make sure that the user is always in control of their identity. It's always in control of their privacy. I think it's very important, especially as billions of devices, sensors, connections are made. Next slide, please. Now, this is, to me, the invasion of data. What is the invasion of data? You saw in an Internet minute what happens. If you look at the disruption that has happened, the product companies, the companies that made hardware, the companies that made just products, and the companies that did not invest, the companies, and I clearly state, that did not innovate, those are the ones that are getting displaced. We need to know, as a service provider industry, are we going to keep the GB cost a little bit more lower and make money, or a little bit more higher and make money? That is not the mechanism. We have to innovate, or we will get displaced. The question is, are we positioned for success? Look at the trend. The number of Exxons, the Berkshires, the Walmarts, all of those individuals, companies have been displaced by Apple, Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon, Tencent of the world. Next slide, please. So we live in a bit-byte economy. We did not necessarily live in a product-alone economy. That's the data economy. If you look at India's aspirations, India's plans, is to reach $1 trillion by 2025. And yesterday, when I was at a panel, I mentioned India's telecom has a big opportunity. If you look at globally, 1.7% to 2% of your GDP is what telecom revenue potential is. That's about $60 billion just on mobile connectivity. And if you look at it, we as service providers are the enablers for any digital transformation. And that digital transformation is enabled by ultra broadband. If you look at ultra broadband, what does it drive? What do we need to have? We need to have conversational platforms. We need to have cloud and edge computing that is enabling new types of services. We need to have AR, AI, MR capabilities as platforms. We need to be investing in data science. We need to be investing in AI and machine learning. That is going to enable us to transform better, faster, quicker. Next slide, please. India's continuing digital transformation. This, to me, the next few slides, in my opinion, is extremely important for all of us today, here, and I believe for the next 18 to 24 months. It's very important. If you look at it, we still have, of the 600 million young Indians that are here, we still have a considerable amount of Indians, 400 million, that are still on feature phones, that we cannot raise the tariffs. We have to make sure that we reach those 400 million users. It's imperative that each one of us deliver that service with no Indian left behind, if you will. The next slide. Now, what are some of the core building blocks for continuing India's transformation? Absolutely believe fiber is an important metric. There was some reference to the need of fiber to be an asset. My dear friends, it is important to note, in India, we are 50 15 to 20x less on fiber. We cannot just have one route of fiber. We need multiple routes of fiber. Look at the metrics, look at the facts that no nation has worked very well in overregulation. It has successfully failed when an industry is overregulated. If you look at India's fiber cuts, 25 to 30 for intercity versus to 40 to 50 versus one fiber cut in the US network. Don't we need redundancy? Or are we going to be experiencing the 2G experience that till the Jio effect came in place, that we all had 2G? And like I said earlier, the pundits had predicted in 2016 June that India will be ready for 4G in 2019. My dear friends, India is ready yesterday. India is ready now. We have to get fiber to every business, every home, and the businesses have to be incentivized to make sure that fiber is implemented. Next slide, please. 4G to 5G evolution. I'm not sure if you all recognize the fact this is the first time in the history of our telecom evolution from 1G to 2G to 3G to 4G to 5G, right? That a technology will be available, two technologies will be available simultaneously on one phone. Typically, when you transition from 3G to 4G, you can only see a 3G signal or a 4G signal. With this, you will see two signals. It's a dual connectivity. That means 4G is not going away. 4G will become your coverage, and 5G will become your hotspots for some long time to come. So 4G and 5G is going to coexist, unlike any other technology that has happened before. Spectrum. If you look at, in India, we have 1/10. I was analyzing the spectrum across the globe of the spectrum that is available compared to any other connected, mobile connected industry. And remember, if in a country like the United States, if it is 4 GB per user per month, that is only on the mobile, not taking into account the Wi-Fi and the others, we have 11 to 12 GB. So we are more constrained than any other operators. The next slide, please. Digitization and localization of data. I'm told that I will accelerate. I guess now I need 6G speeds. Data localization is an extremely important component for us. Next slide, please. Ultra broadband. I want to leave a thought that is extremely important. As far as Jio is concerned, it's a combination of our giga fiber and the 4G to 5G transformation. As India is concerned, we have a unique opportunity to transforming 80% of India's lower income into the right bracket, and that's the bigger opportunity, including 50% of new growth opportunity in the agricultural crop yields. Next slide, please. This, to us, is very important. We are not an operator. We are an unoperator. And we believe it is that unoperator that has made us different. It is that unoperator that has made us to succeed, so that we don't feel stressed, we don't feel stretched, and we would encourage everyone to innovate and thrive, if you will. Next slide, please. Now, this is the few tech initiatives that you know. Just wanted to give you a glimpse because we are an open company. We do not believe in keeping anything to ourselves, so it is open. Next slide. Now, ultra broadband, we believe, is not just about shaping one industry. It is shaping the entire industry. So let us not be stressed. These are new revenue opportunities. And I look at all of our friends here today, folks. We know we can do it. We can deliver together rather than being invaded by anyone, rather than being disrupted. Collectively, we have an opportunity to deliver ultra broadband to everybody. And that will be the new India. And that is one India. Thank you very much, folks.